and we're still working on getting things planked.
Okay.
So.
Great.
Yeah, we have them in a storage unit, a controlled storage unit, and we have to keep them there for a year before we can do anything with them. And we've had to put, well, you're going to laugh, but this is what they call it. Tree juice is what they call it. It has a technical name, but the guy that cut the planks for us, that's what he uses. And he said, you gotta. So we soaked some of the rings to try to keep them from cracking.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of them did crack, and then they came and they got a couple planks, but to get 2 planks, it took them like 4 hours. And so it's just hard wood. And so he's going to come back again and get some more planks until we get them all. And then we can store them in that unit, and then they can stay there for a while as they age and everything like that. And then we'll kind of go from there. So
Yeah.
we're hoping to make benches, maybe some tables if we can.
Yeah.
Anything to show the kids that, we're not just cutting the stuff down, that we're actually trying to use it in a different way and reuse it for various and sundry things. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Can't promise anything, but
yeah. I'm glad y'all made those efforts.
Yeah. I really wanted to make some art piece, but I couldn't find anybody willing to do it. We looked into I think it's called an Arkansas quilt, which is made out of wood, and we contacted a couple artists, but at the end they just didn't want to. I guess they didn't want to mess with it, and so yeah. So. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I think we'll just wait till about 5 o'clock. It should be about 5 o'clock now, I think. So. Yeah.
Just let me know when we're ready to start.
I think you can go ahead. I think it's about 5 o'clock now if you want to start. Okay.
Okay. This is Jeannie Glover substituting for the chair. I will call this meeting the August 9th, 2021 meeting of the Crowley Ridge Regional Library Board of Trustees. I will call this meeting to order at this time. Would you please say here if you are attending this meeting?
Here.
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 All right.
Do you want our name?
Is someone recording the minutes?
Yeah, Jordan Wilson, who you can't see, she's doing the recording for it. So
Okay.
she'll get all the names down and everything, and she
Okay.
sees all of you. There's nobody hiding.
Okay,
so.
good. All right. The first thing we'll do is ask for a motion on the minutes from the May 2021 meeting. So do I hear a motion to accept the minutes from the May 2021 meeting?
I so move, Marilyn.
Marilyn moves. Is there a second?
Kurt seconds.
There is a second. Is there any discussion about the minutes from May 2021?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. If you would vote to accept the minutes from May 2021 as printed, please state your name.
Do you want them to go one?
Aye.
Do you want them to go one at a time?
That would, I think that would help the minute taker.
Okay.
All right.
Can
Jeannie
we go
votes
by-
yes. Marilyn voted yes.
Judy Renicky, yes.
Mike Johnson, yes.
Holly Orr, yes.
Kurt Hawkins, yes.
Amanda Askew, yes.
Mark Nichols, yes.
Lily Zing, yes.
Okay, I think that's everybody.
Okay, so there are none opposed. The motion passes to accept the minutes from May 2021 as printed. The second item is our year-end budget update.
Yeah, that's on page 4. You can see we had about $12,164 left over. And then we had I think a little bit of a surplus in any case, or we didn't use everything. So, but in the bank account on June 30th, we have $97,148.17. So everything looks pretty good. There was nothing out of the ordinary.
Is there a motion to accept the year-end year-end budget update as printed and as explained by David?
Lily Zhang, so moved.
Lily Zing moved. Is there a second?
Mike Johnson will second.
Mike Johnson seconded. Is there any other discussion after David's explanation? Then if you vote to accept the year-end budget update as printed, please state your name one at a time.
Marilyn, yes.
Mike Johnson approves.
Nikki, yes.
Hallie Orr, yes.
Amanda Askew, yes.
Lily Zhang, yes.
Yeah, Kurt Hawkins, yes.
Mark Nichols, yes.
Okay.
Jeannie Glover, yes.
All right. I think that's everybody.
All right, the motion passes. Our next item is the 2022 budget proposal.
And that's on page 5.
Next page, yes.
So that the state aid did not go up at all. It's pretty much the same. So, but we do have to pay for an audit. So in the Crowley Ridge, we do an audit every other year. And so that's going to cost us about $8,000 to do that. So by the time it's all said and done, we really only have $10 surplus that we're making in the bank if we spend everything. So it's pretty tight, but we usually don't spend everything. Some of the different things that we don't know what's going to happen, for example, is mileage or the auto or something like that. Now you'll see that there's already been some money spent because this really started in July. And so I think in that middle column, you can see that some of the money has already been spent a little bit in there, but, or else I think she might've put in what we spent last year. I have to look and see. No, I think that's kind of what we had to spend already a little bit. So
No, David, that looks like it's a comparison point of the remaining balance that you had last time
that's
to
right.
show
Okay.
why you're making
I
adjustments.
couldn't remember why she put that in there. Okay,
But
yeah.
quick question for you. So
Yeah.
we obviously massively over budgeted on auto. And, you know, as a result, it looks like in 2022, there's a proposal to bring it down. Do we know, have we pinpointed why we're so under on it? I mean, I assume it's COVID related, but can you
Yeah,
tell us
because-
why that is?
Yeah, because 4 of the 5 cars that we have are through this budget, and like we didn't have to pay for tires, we didn't have to pay for taking it into the shop or getting the oil changed or anything like that. And so they're the things that can add up with that. And then, yeah, I think that's really why we were so under the last couple of times. Our oldest car, I believe, is from 2010 because it's the van. And so, but you'll see that in my next proposal that we're going to try to get a new van. But that's the oldest one. And then I think the next one after that is the Fusion, which is I think a 2012 or 2013. And then, so every couple of years we've gotten a car, we've tried to keep up with it, but I think that's really most of the cost. We didn't run our route between all the branches for a long time. We didn't run it at all. And then we just been running it, maybe, we were doing it twice a week. I don't know if we've actually increased that to 3 times a week or whether we're still doing it twice a week or not.
We're doing it 3 times a week currently.
Yeah, oh yeah. So we've been kind of ramping it up a little bit. I think when I put this together about a month ago, I wasn't sure that the COVID numbers were going back up, but now it appears that they are. So we end up that we could be well over budgeted for that again. But I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah. So.
Well, with that explanation, do I hear a motion to approve the proposed budget for July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022?
I so move.
All right, Judy made the motion. Is there a second?
Marilyn second.
Marilyn seconds. If you wish to approve the 2022 budget proposal, would you please say yes?
Lily saying yes.
Mike says yes.
Judy says yes.
Marilyn says yes.
Hallie, yes.
Amanda Askew, yes.
Mark Nichols, yes.
Kurt Hawkins, yes.
All right. I think that's everybody again.
All right, so the motion has passed. And we're to item 4, our other announcements. David, would you take care of that, please?
Yeah, so number 4 is there's an ARPA grant that came out to all of the libraries in all the states. It's a federal grant. It's a non-competitive grant. So it's all based on, I think, population served and everything like that. It's being administered through the state library. And so there are certain things that we can get and certain things that we can't get, but it's basically designed to help with any kind of distribution of either services or internet or things like that. Anything that's sort of far reaching and things like that. So as I said, we had a real, our van has several, it's got, I don't know how many miles on it, but it's starting to make noises. It's a 11-year-old minivan. It's a Dodge. I mean, I've owned them myself. And so it starts to tick, 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 tick a little bit. And so we thought when this grant came through, we asked permission if you could get a panel van. And so we wanted to try to get some sort of a more heavy duty van in order to run between all of the branches to share and pick up all the material. We now have another branch, so it's going to 9 branches. We have 2 spots in town that we also have drop-offs that people can drop off, that we go and get things. And so, and we have in the past always used the van for groups to go to conferences and stuff, or to make these kind of deliveries and things like that. And it kind of beats up the van after a while. And so we have another minivan that we got a couple of years ago that we can still use for that. And so this would be strictly for the maintenance guy to go pick up material if we need it and to do those kinds of things. And so I went through the state. The state has a program where they have vehicles that you can go through. They're already pre-bid and everything. So if you look on page 6 and 7, this is the kind of van that we're going to get or hopefully get is a smart Ford Transit van, a 1/2-ton utility van. And then on page 8 are some of the options. And I actually only asked for 3 different options. So if you look on page 9, Smart Ford was the one that won the bid for 2022. Now, what this is 2021. This is a 2021. This is the only one that's out, but they won the bid for 2021. The van probably won't get here till into 2022. He already told me, but you see that I asked the list price for the van on page 9 is $23,594. The only things I asked for daytime running lights, because I thought that would be safer. They stay on all the time. I asked for power windows and locks, and I asked for a cruise control, because again, it's going between all the branches and it's better to have that cruise control. So they were the 3 extra things that I asked for. So that would bring the total to $24,469. So On page 10 is what the purchase order looks like that they put in for us. And so they couldn't give us anything more than that, but that's the exact price. Now there's going to be taxes on it. There's going to be probably a charge to get it delivered to like a charge to get it delivered to the dealership. But when I went and I talked to the people that were administering the grant, they said that that was okay. They just needed the figure to be in the ballpark, that if things changed a little bit moving forward, that would be okay. So I'm going to give you all three of the things that we're asking for. So then I'll give you the totals. Okay. So that was the first thing that we wanted. And because it's more than $20,000, even though it was a grant money and it's not really coming out of our budget, I thought it'd be nice for the board to know and to approve the whole thing. So on page 11, we've been trying to update our website. We've been having some problems with the people that are hosting it. Our website is about, I think we did it in 2010 or 2011, or 2012, somewhere in there. It's about 10 years old or so. We just need to update the website. So this chart is, if you can start on the left side, we reached out to all of those vendors that are on the left side, including the one that we have now. And then the second, we sent out an RFP to all of them. Two at the bottom did not ever respond back or did not say that they wanted an RFP or anything like that. So we sent it to the next so many. And then on the third, they're the people that responded. So not everybody necessarily responded saying that they would be partaking of the RFP process, but that's how many responded. Then you can see that we really only got the bid. There's a fourth column, but the fifth column says receive bid. We received bid from 8 different places. Okay. So we've been sort of going through all the different ones, looking at their websites, looking at the ones that they gave us to look at and their references and everything. And we narrowed it down to the top 3 that you see in green over on the left side. One company called Byte, one company called Munico, and one company called Granicus. And we asked them to come and do some demos for us. And then you can see the next portion that we've gotten some demos in July. We've gotten one demo in August. And so they are also, just to let you know, these are the costs. So the next to the last column on the right would be the year 1 cost. So Byte, for example, depending upon what you get, could be anywhere from $7,800 to $3,900. But then the annual cost for Byte is only going to be $540 to $900. So they're a company that they want a lot up front, but once you pay that, then moving forward, it's a great deal because you don't have to pay that much. Munico, it costs less to get it done the first year, maybe $12,000 to $14,250. But then their annual cost could be anywhere from $2,400 to $11,000 a year. And then the last one, Granicus, that we liked, their first year cost was $35,500. And then their annual cost was about $5,800. So at the end of the day, we actually like Byte the best, right? And so we think that moving forward, I can't use the ARPA grant to pay for the yearly costs, but I can use the ARPA grant to pay for the initial cost of it. So we kind of thought, well, we might as well take advantage. We really like them the best. We went back and forth. It got down to Byte and Granicus, and we met with them a couple times over the 2. But at the end of the day, that's the one that we like. So that's kind of what we're proposing. We don't think it's going to cost the whole $39,000, but I would rather tell you guys that it's going to cost the $39,000 and then not have it cost that much. Okay. But again, the grant still pays for this. All right. And then the last page of the booklet, page 12, I had asked our IT guy to go through and get some things that we really have been either putting off or we just need for the future. And you can see a list of some of the different products that we need, switches and things like that. And all told, that's a total cost of $12,256. So we are eligible for $90,142. the totals of the van, the website at $39,000, and this material comes out to $75,725.80. And so this is really what we're proposing, that this is what we want to use the grant money for. It's not quite the total amount, but again, I know that we'll have to pay some taxes on this. I know that we'll have to pay some freight delivery charges. But this is stuff that we could really use. And like I said, it's really not costing the library anything at all. So I don't think that I don't think there's any downside to doing this, but I'll turn it over to you guys and then you tell me what you think. So.
All right, is there discussion about any of these items David explained?
David, have we applied for this grant in the past? And you mentioned it doesn't cost anything, so there's no matching funds on our part?
There's no matching fund because I think it's really a COVID-based grant that came out of the government. So it's a federal government, and I think that they're sending it to all of the state libraries, and then the state libraries are administering the money in a fair and equitable way. Right now, Tanya might have better information than I, but I think as I understand it, that's what it is. So like I said, it's a non-competitive grant. We don't have to apply for it. It's not going to be like, we're not going to get it. We're going to get this money. All I have to do is fill out the form and send it in, and they're like, okay, we'll pay for it. Right.
Yeah, that's a good general explanation. I'll also kind of mention that, if we don't apply for it, then it just gets dispersed out somewhere else.
Right. Someone's going to get it.
Someone's going to get it, but
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Okay.
Yeah.
So you will get amount that you request.
In
based
fact,
on the amount.
I think that actually, even if the van comes through for a little bit more, they'll probably cover the difference. They just wanted to make sure that everything was as close as we could. So once we'll apply for more than what we need for the website. And then I don't know the rules about whether we have to give that money back or anything like that. But I didn't want to move forward until I knew for sure that it was okay with all of you. And so I have to apply for it by September 1st. And then I think whenever we get whatever things that we're applying for, then they'll send the check out to us. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think you should apply if there is funding available.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your work. I do have a question about your vehicle request. Is there a reason why you're requesting a 2020 model?
No, it's going to be a 2021 or a 2022, but yeah. Those, the bid specifications always, I couldn't get the 2021 or the 2022. It seemed like by the time you go through the state and they go through this process, you're always sort of like 1 year behind. So no, it'll be, if you look on the page, if you look on page 10, if you look down under vehicle purchased, this is going to be a 2022 Ford white van. So it says smart at the top, and then the second box down, it says vehicle purchased new 2022. So this will be a 2022 van. Yeah. But I couldn't print out the 2022 because they don't have it available on the state page. It's on the Finance Department of Finance and Administration, and I couldn't find it. But just to give you an example of what that looks like, I put it into the booklet. So.
Are there other questions or comments?
What are some other needs that you have? Say the website was to come in quite a bit cheaper. Are there any other things that you could spend the money towards?
Well, like I said, it's really pretty limited in terms of equipment and stuff. And I went to my IT guys. We're already pretty well set at all of our branches. We're always, we don't want to just spend money just for the sake of spending money. And I even asked about computers, but all of our computers are in pretty good shape. And I'm afraid that if we buy computers like for the future, by the time you go to use them, then they're going to be obsolete. And then we kind of wasted the money. Yeah, I really wanted it to be closer to what we have because I don't want to leave any money on the table. But we can't use it for furniture. We can't use it for certain things. We can only use it for certain things. And that's really what the problem is. We could use it. I don't know if we can use it for material, possibly,
So
but
my understanding is that we can use it for ebooks. So feasibly, if we have some funding left over, even if it's not a very large amount, we could potentially use that to purchase some ebooks for one of our collections.
yeah. Okay, that's good.
David, anything that would be applicable to something we needed for the bookmobile?
No, because again, we haven't been able to use the bookmobile that much, so we haven't had it very long, and so nothing is broken on it. I mean, to be honest with you, and we got it pretty much with everything that we wanted on there. It already has a system to send out a Wi-Fi signal. It already has, you know, a couple of TVs in there. It already has, I mean, kind of everything. I mean, it didn't come with a bubble machine. I was a little bummed about that, but other than that, it really has, it has everything else. And so, yeah, and I don't think that this grant will cover a bubble machine, and so, which is wrong, but
Not
in
unless
any
it has a
case,
Wi-Fi signal.
yeah. So anyway, no, yeah.
Any
But
other
we'll keep
questions?
looking. I mean, we'll try to use up the money if we can. If I know that we can get some extra ebooks, we belong to the consortium, and we're already really getting a good money's worth for belonging to that as well. So, but we can always get some more. But it has to be something that's not just here. It has to be used everywhere, which is why the website, we were able to use that because it's for all the branches and the main library. And the van was going to go out to all the branches and the main library. So, yeah.
Any other comments or questions?
Well, I noticed that the vehicle that you requested is pretty basic.
Yes.
Is that the state requirement?
Yeah, most of the state vehicles are pretty stripped down and pretty basic. And not only that, we had the only ones that were bid on that won, there was a Nissan. We went to the Nissan dealer. They said that they are not making them anymore. We went to the Dodge place. They said that I don't think that they were making panel vans anymore. And in fact, there was a big demand for trying for like workers to find panel vans that nobody can find them. And the real problem is, and the reason that it's taking so long to even get this van is because they can't find the chips. A lot of the places, that's why the used car prices are so high, because they can't find the chips. And so, yeah, they were my three choices: either to get a Ford, to try to get a Dodge, or to try to get this Nissan. And it was pretty much the Ford. Yeah. If I don't, and I have to go through that bid process, the pre-bid process with them. I can't just go out on my own. Then that gets to be a real mess, because then trying to get a bid process from all of that, you pretty much are limited to going through the state bid process. So, yeah.
Well, just looks to me that the technology is pretty very basic.
Yeah.
In today's environment, I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't have most of the new features in the past that became available in the last few years.
I think whatever the basic is going to be on a 2022, that's what we'll get. And so I think that, but like I said, the state, they don't want anybody to spend a lot of money. So when you're talking about state vehicles, no, they're not fancy. It's just the way it is.
I will say, you having 5 children, I'm up on vans a little bit, and the Ford Transit really gets a good review as far as dependability and reliability. So,
oh, good to know. Yeah, good. Yeah, we have a couple other Fords. We haven't had any problems with them too much, and it's all been good. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sure that the grantors would like to know that the board has approved the options that our librarian has decided to include in the grant proposal. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the items that David has discussed in the grant proposal.
Lily Zink so moves.
Lily Zink moves. Is there a second?
I second. Marilyn.
Marilyn seconded. Is there any discussion about this motion? All right, if you vote to approve this motion to approve the library board's application for this grant, please say yes.
Marilyn, yes.
Judy, yes.
Mike, yes.
Ally, yes.
Amanda, yes.
Mark.
Felicity, yes.
Mark, yes.
Kurt, yes.
Any noes? And the motion has passed. And we congratulate David and all his staff for putting together such a nice proposal for our grant for our library system.
Thank you. Thank
I'll
you.
call attention to the upcoming meeting dates, November 8th, February 14th, and then May 9th and August 8th of next year. Is there any other business we need to discuss at this meeting?
I don't think there's any on my side.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Kurt Hawkins so moves.
All right. Is there a second?
Kelly or seconds.
Is there any discussion about our motion to adjourn? Then all in favor of our motion to adjourn, please say yes.
Yes.
Kurt, yes.
Mike, yes.
Judy, yes.
Amanda, yes.
Mark, yes.
Marilyn, yes.
This vote was faster than the other votes. I just want you to know that. That was a fast vote as opposed to the other, so.